Yes, people, what's going on? I hope you're all good. So today we're going to look at my top 4 favorite ways to make glitch sounds and glitch loops, which are simple, effective, and will make you a better producer. So let's get inside Ableton to see how I do this.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Okay, so we're inside Ableton now, and I have made this drum loop specifically for this video. So I will just play that for you quickly. So nothing complicated. All the loops and sounds from this one are from my sample pack. If you haven't already got it, the link is below. There is a special discount just for you guys for YouTube, because I know you guys will definitely love this one. So what we're going to look at today is 4 different ways to make glitch loops or glitch sounds. So we're going to start with slicing, move on to pitching, then the use of drum racks, and then resampling. So we're going to start with slicing because it's the most simple one to use. So all you need to do is get around 3 to 5 glitch loops from either sample packs that you like to use or Loop Cloud or Splice. You need to then put them on to a MIDI channel, and you just need to turn on the slice feature, which is down on here on the simpler or the sampler, depending on what you use. Now, what we're trying to achieve here is to make our own glitchy loop using a variety of existing glitch loops. Now, this is a much better way of working than just throwing a loop onto an audio channel, pressing play, and hoping for the best. What we're going to do here is use individual hits from all the glitch loops that we've got and make our own unique glitch loop, which is going to work well with the groove that we're creating. So as you can see, we just have a few here already that I've made previously. So if I just turn it on and show you what these two are doing. So we're able to then just pick individual hits of the loops that we've selected that we like and then fit them into the groove how we want to. Now, if you prefer using sequences, then you definitely can. So what we have here is Sting by Skinner Box. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with this, but is a random MIDI generator that is mainly used for creating acid patterns, but you can pretty much put it on anything and see what it creates. So if we have a listen to what this is doing now. So that is the pattern it's playing, and we can just change the smiley face and it's playing a different pattern. So this is a much better way of working if you don't have access to a MIDI keyboard, or if you struggle to play in sounds on your keyboard or on your keyboard or mouse. This way, it just might improve your workflow. So now we can listen to what all of these sound like together with the resampled MIDI from Sting. And then with our beat. Very easy and effective way to work, and you can imagine how in-depth of a loop you can create if you start adding more MIDI channels to slice up. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pitching. So pitching is another super effective and easy way to make unique glitch sounds. So now all we're going to need is a audio channel, and I like to use top loops for this, but you can use existing percussion loops, bass loops, or even synth loops. You can really get creative with this one. So if we go into the arrangement view so we can see what we're doing, and you can see I've picked out this top button halfway through the video, but I just wanted to advertise my brand new website, brendanjamesmusic.com. So you can head to the link in the description of this video and go there. I'm offering now one-to-one tuition, mix downs and masters, and in the coming few months there will be sample packs on there, and the next track from scratch series will all be on there. So please just check it out and let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you're going to use those services. If you're having struggle with the website, just drop me an email, which is on the website, or drop me a message on Instagram, which sounds like this. Now you can see what happens to the sound as soon as I start altering the pitch within inside the clip. You can get some really unique sounds because Ableton is trying to keep the loop to the original BPM of the project that it's in, and then by pitching it we are naturally speeding it up, which increases the pitch. So that's how you can get these unusual sounds from pitching. Now, how I recommend to use this within a track is I would find a pitch that I like, so we're going to say 27, and I'll just start to cut pieces out that I like. So let's say we keep that first bit, and then we can keep this bit. We can maybe pitch this up. Same with here, maybe pitch that up. And it's just all about altering the pitch so you can create your own loops. So here's one that I've made earlier using the techniques that I've just showed you. Sounds great, and you can always one-up this as well by adding audio effects to it. So you could always try echoes, delays, and reverb modulations. But personally, my favorite is beat repeat, which is an Ableton stock one. So we can set how many gates or how many stutters we have. We can set the grid and the variation. This one from Ableton, it's best to just play around with the parameters, and once you find something you like, just keep it on there. So you can hear now it's just creating some more stutters, some more glitches, and it's just adding some more layers and depth to this glitch loop that we've created to use in pitching. Cool, so now we have done pitching, let's move on to the drum racks. Drum racks are going to be a pretty easy one to cover because it is using the same techniques that we went over in slicing, but what we're utilizing here is one-shots instead. So if you haven't already checked out my previous videos where I'm recommending creating drum racks with all your favorite samples in, then you're missing out, because you definitely should check that one out. And there's a free Ableton template as well. But as you can see here, we have a variety of glitch sounds. Now, if you haven't done this in your template, that is completely fine, because in there is an easy fix. We can go onto Ableton drums, pop a drum rack onto a MIDI channel, go down to a sample pack that has a variety of glitch one-shots, then we can just pop all of them onto the drum rack. Now, you could always play this in with your MIDI keyboard or your keyboard on your computer or using the mouse. But what I like to use for this one is the sequencer sting that we've just previously been over. So now when we press play, and what I will do for this one is I will set up a MIDI track. I'm going to get the MIDI from the sequencer. Now when I record, enable this and record. We've then got the MIDI that Sting is playing. And what I would do is I would just change the randomization by hitting the smiley face. And I'll just record quite a few of these in. maybe go and change him again. So now we've got 3, what we can do is we can always duplicate this channel out 3 times, turn off sting on each one, and put each individual MIDI on every single one. And then we can start just fine-tuning the MIDI that the sequencer has generated. So we can remove this one. So maybe I just like this first part. And what we can do is we can duplicate this out. And maybe let's say this only happens once every 4 bars. And there you go. You can see how quite quickly, from just using a sequencer and then using one shots, I then can create this quite unique I'm then able to create this really random glitch loop, which would work quite nicely with the other techniques that we've just been over. Okay, and then finally we are going to look at resampling. So resampling is probably the more time-consuming one, but this is where you can get some really unique sounds, and I would often recommend saving them all in a folder within your user library, so then you can use them across multiple projects. So when it comes to resampling, we're going to resample 2 loops, and then we're going to resample a synth as well. So we're using different plugins and effects to alter existing loops. So currently we have this glitch loop. And what we were using to affect this one is a plugin called Effectrix. So Effectrix is great because it has all of these different effects on the side, and we can put them in wherever we want to. So currently that's nothing. We could put a stutter on the beginning. We could change the preset the stutter. We can use the X loop, which alters the pitch. Maybe try tonal delay. And you can really get creative with this one. Now there are some really good presets in here as well if you didn't want to try and program stuff in yourself. So this one's what I'm looking for. Something that is very different to the original sound, so then we can resample it. So now we have a audio channel, and I've select audio from resampling. So when I hit record enable, it's going to resample this sound. And there we go. Now we've got a 4-bar loop of that resampled loop. We can then use previous techniques that we've just been over. We could slice it all on a MIDI channel and then program it in ourselves, or use Sting to create a randomly generated glitch sounds. We could try cutting it up in audio and then repitching it and adding effects like beat repeat or echo and so on and so forth. So by using the techniques we've been over previously, we can then manipulate the new audio that we've created. We could then go back into here and find another preset and resample this one individual loop several times to get really unique effects. So now we can move on to resampling number 2, which is Tantra. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Tantra, as it is a great plugin. It works similar to Effectrix, but has more delays and reverbs and has different presets for you to use. So we can just start flicking through some of these. So that sort of like wobble hit there sounds great to me. We can resample that then. And then we've got another loop that we can use. And then finally, the third resampling technique we're going to have a look at is resampling synths. So some synths will have sequences inside of them, may have effects, and have stuff that you can manipulate in a unique way. So this one called Modulaire, we have this preset here, which is just a random sort of sequencer. So if I press play quickly, some very unusual sounds in there. And what we can do is we can do the same again. So we can go record, enable, record it. And there you go, that is how I would use resampling. And then we have 3 more glitch loops that we can manipulate using slicing, pitching, or drum racks, or just using them as themselves and fitting it into our groove. So there you go guys, that is another video over and done with. I hope you found that one really useful, because those 4 techniques are the 4 ways I create glitch plugins, and just develop and stack all of them on top of each other to then really expand my own glitch sounds to create something really unique and that stands out. So I'll see you again for the next video.